Life follows you. Destiny is no matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Life follows you. Absolutely everything you experience in your life is a result of what you have given out in your thoughts and feelings, whether you realize you have given them or not. Life is not happening to you. Life is following you. Your destiny is in your hands. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, will decide your life. Everything in life is presented to you for you to choose what you love. Life is a catalog, and you are the one who chooses what you love from the catalog. But are you choosing the things you love, or are you too busy judging and labeling the bad things? If your life is far from wonderful, then you've inadvertently been labeling all the bad things. You've allowed the things you think are bad to distract you from the purpose of your life. Because the purpose of your life is to love. The purpose of your life is joy. The purpose of your life is to choose the things you love and turn away from the things you don't love so you don't choose them. Choose what you love. When you see your dream car go whizzing down the street, life is presenting that car to you. How you feel when you see your dream car is everything, because if you choose to feel nothing but love for that car, you are bringing your dream car to you. But if you feel envy or jealousy because someone else is driving your dream car, you just gonged yourself out of having your dream car. Life presented the car to you so you could choose. And you choose it by feeling love. Do you see that it doesn't matter whether someone else has something and you don't? Life is presenting everything to you. And if you feel love for it, you are bringing the same thing to you. When you see a happy couple madly in love, and you desperately want a partner in your life, life is presenting the happy couple to you, for you to choose. But if you feel sad or lonely when you see the happy couple, you just gave out negativity, and in effect said, I want to be sad and lonely. You have to give love for what you want. If you are overweight and you're walking down the street and a person with a perfect body passes you by, how do you feel? Life is presenting the great body to you for you to choose. And so if you feel bad because you don't have that body, you just said, I don't want a body like that. I want the overweight body I have. If you are struggling with some kind of disease and you are surrounded by healthy people, how do you feel? Life is presenting healthy people to you so you can choose health. And so when you feel love for the health around you, more than you feel bad about a lack of health, you are choosing health for yourself. When you feel good about anything any person has, you are bringing it to you. When you feel good about the success of another person, the happiness of another person, or all the good things anyone else has, you are choosing those things from the catalog of life, and you are bringing them to yourself. If you meet someone who has qualities you wish you had, love those qualities and feel good about those qualities in that person, and you are bringing those qualities to yourself. If someone is smart, beautiful, or talented, love those qualities and you choose those things for you. If you want to become a parent and you've been trying for a long time, then give love and feel good every single time you see a parent with a child. If you feel depressed when you see children because you don't have a child, then you are repelling and pushing children away from you. Life is presenting children to you each time you see them, so you can choose. When you're playing a sport and another person wins, when a work colleague tells you they got a pay raise, when someone wins the lottery, when a friend tells you that their spouse gave them a surprise gift of a weekend away, or that they bought a beautiful new house, or that their child won a scholarship, you should be as excited as they are. You should be as excited and happy as though it has happened to you, because then you are saying yes to it, then you are giving love to it, and you are bringing it to you. When you see your dream car, a happy couple, the perfect body, children, great qualities in a person, or whatever it is you want, it means you are on the same frequency as those things. Be excited, because your excitement is choosing it. Everything in life is presenting itself to you, so you can choose what you love and what you don't love. But only love brings what you want to you. Life's catalog contains many things you don't love, so don't choose them by giving bad feelings. Judge another person and think they're bad, and you bring negativity to you. Feel envious or jealous of something another person has, and you bring negativity to you while pushing away the very thing you want with a mighty force. Only love brings what you want to you. This is the miracle that happens every time to those who really love. The more they give, the more they possess. The law of one, you. There is a simple formula you can use for the law of attraction that will stand you in good stead with every person, situation, and circumstance. As far as the law of attraction is concerned, there is only one person in the world, you. There is no other person, and nothing else as far as the law of attraction is concerned. There is only you, because the law of attraction is responding to your feelings. It's only what you give that counts. And it's the same for every other person. And so in truth, the law of attraction is the law of you. There is only you, and there is no other person. For the law of attraction, the other person is you, and that other person is you, and those other people are you, because whatever you feel about anyone else, you are bringing to you. What you feel about another person, what you think or say about another person, what you do to another person, you do to you. Give judgment and criticism, and you give it to yourself. Give love and appreciation to another person or anything, and you give it to yourself. There is no other for the law of attraction. So it makes no difference if someone else has what you want. When you feel love for it, you're including it in your life. And with anything you don't love, simply turn away from it without judgment, and you won't include it in your life. There is only yes for the law of attraction. Turn away from the things you don't love, and don't give them any feeling. Don't say no to the things you don't love, because saying no brings them to you. When you say no to the things you don't love, you're feeling bad about them, you're giving bad feelings, and you will receive those feelings back as negative circumstances in your life. You can't say no to anything, because when you say, "No, I don't want that," you are saying yes to the law of attraction. When you say, "The traffic is terrible, the service is really bad, they're always late, it's so noisy in here, that driver is a lunatic, I've been on hold for so long," you are saying yes to these things, and you are including more of all of them in your life. Turn away from the things you don't love and don't give them any feeling, because they are fine as they are, but they have no place in your life. Instead, say yes when you see something you love. Say yes when you hear something you love. Say yes when you taste something you love. Say yes when you smell something you love. Say yes when you touch something you love. It doesn't matter if you have it or not, say yes to it, because then you are choosing it by giving love. There are no limits, and everything is possible if you really want it, if you really desire it. There is no lack anywhere in the universe. When people see a lack of anything, it's simply a lack of love. There isn't a lack of health, money, resources, or happiness. The supply is equal to the demand. Give love, and you will receive. Your life, your story. You are creating the story of your life. So what story are you telling about yourself? Do you believe there are things you can and cannot do? Is that the story you are telling about yourself? Because that story is not true. Don't listen if someone says you are less than anyone else. Don't listen if someone says you are limited in any way. Don't listen if someone says you can't do what you love to do and earn a living from it. Don't listen if someone says you are not as valuable and worthy as the greatest human beings who've lived. Don't listen if someone says you are not good enough now and you have to prove yourself in life. Don't listen if someone says you can't have what you love or do what you love or be what you love. If you believe it, you put limits on yourself, but more importantly, it is not true. There is not a single thing that is too good for you or too good to be true. The force of love says, whatever you give, you receive back. Does that say you're not good enough? The force of love says, give love for whatever you want to be, do, or have, and you will receive it. Does that say you're not good enough? You are worthy and deserving just as you are. You are good enough now. If you feel you have done something that wasn't right, understand that your realization and acceptance of it is absolution for the law of attraction. The real world, in the beginning, there were only probabilities. The universe could only come into existence if someone observed it. It does not matter that the observers turned up several billion years later. The universe exists because we are aware of it. I want to take you behind the scenes of the world you see, because much of what you see is not as real as you may think it is. A few adventurous steps into the invisible will change the way you look at the world, and it will set you free to receive an unlimited life. Most of the things you may currently believe about the real world are not true. You are much more than you may realize. Life and the universe are much more than you may realize. You may think there is a limited amount of things in the world. You may think there's a limited amount of money, health, and resources, but it isn't true. There is no lack of anything. Quantum physics tell us there are infinite planet Earths and infinite universes that exist, and we move from one reality of planet Earth and a universe to another every fraction of a second. This is the real world emerging through science. In our universe, we are tuned into the frequency that corresponds to physical reality. But there are an infinite number of parallel realities coexisting with us in the same room, although we cannot tune into them. You may think there's a shortage of time in the real world, and because of that you may live your life rushing against time. But the great scientist Albert Einstein told us that time is an illusion. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. You may think that the real world is made up of living things and dead things. But in the universe, everything is alive and nothing is dead. The stars, sun, planets, earth, air, water, fire, and every object you see is seething with life. This is the real world that is emerging. There is a sense in the tree which feels your love and responds to it. It does not respond or show its pleasure in our way or in any way we can now understand. You may believe the real world is everything you can see, and that everything you can't see isn't real. And yet the color you see when you look at something is in fact not its real color. Each thing absorbs all the colors that it really is, and reflects the color it is not, and that's the color you see. So, the sky is actually every color but blue. There are many sounds you can't hear because their frequencies are beyond what you can hear, but they are real. You can't see ultraviolet or infrared light because their frequencies are beyond what your eye can see, but they are real. If you imagine all the known frequencies of light as the size of Mount Everest, then all that you can see is smaller than a golf ball. You may believe the real world is made up of all the solid things you can see and touch, but actually nothing is solid. The chair you're sitting on right now is a force of moving energy, and it's mostly space. So how real is your chair? A wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, so, therefore, he escapes the suffering. You may believe that your imagination is just thoughts and dreams and has no power in the real world. And yet, one of the hurdles for scientists in proving things to be true or not is removing the scientist's beliefs from scientific experiments, because what the scientist believes or imagines will be the outcome of an experiment affects the outcome of the experiment. This is the power of human imagination and beliefs. Just as the scientist's beliefs affect the outcome of an experiment, so do your beliefs affect the outcome of your life. Your beliefs, true or untrue, form your world. What you imagine and feel to be true creates your life, because that is what you're giving to the law of attraction, and that is what will be returned to you. Your imagination is more real than the world you see, because the world you see comes from what you imagine and believe. What you believe and feel to be true is what will be your life. If you believe you can't have the life you dream of, then the law of attraction must follow what you say, and that will be your real world. To believe in the things you can see and touch is no belief at all. But to believe in the unseen is a triumph and a blessing. A story of limitation has been passed on from one generation to the next through the history of humanity, but the time has come to tell the real story. The real story. The real story is that you are an unlimited being. The real story is that the world and the universe are unlimited. There are worlds and possibilities that you cannot see, but all of them exist. You have to start telling a different story. You have to start telling the story of your amazing life, because whatever story you tell, good or bad, the law of attraction must make sure you receive it, and it will be the story of your life. Imagine and feel whatever you want, and those will be the pictures you receive back in your life. Give love as much as you can and feel as good as you can, and the force of love will surround you with people, circumstances, and events that you love. You can be whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. What do you love? What do you want? Let go of anything you don't love about your life story and just keep the things you love. If you hold on to negative things from your past, then you keep putting them into your story every time you remember them, and they go back into the pictures of your life. Now, let go of the things you don't love about your childhood and keep the things you love. Let go of the things you don't love about your adolescent and adult years and keep the good things. Just keep the things you love about your whole life. All the negative things of the past are done, finished. You are not the same person as you were then, so why keep putting them in your story if they make you feel bad? You don't have to dig negative things out of you from the past. Just don't put them in your story anymore. A mighty, eternal, and incomprehensible force pushes us all forward. But while all are so being pushed, many linger and look back. Unconsciously, they oppose this force. If you keep telling a story of being a victim, then those pictures will play over and over again in your life. If you keep telling a story that you're not as smart as other people, or not as attractive as other people, or not as talented as other people, you will be right because they will become the pictures of your life. When you fill your life with love, you'll find that guilt, resentment, and any negative feelings will leave you. And then you will start telling the greatest story ever told, and the force of love will light up your life with the pictures of the real story of your amazing life. Love is the greatest power on earth. It conquers all things. Points of power. A life presents everything to you for you to choose what you love. If someone has something you want, be as excited as though you have it. If you feel love for it, you are bringing the same thing to you. When you see the things you want, you are on the same frequency as those things. Life's catalog contains things you don't love, so don't choose them by giving bad feelings. Turn away from the things you don't love and don't give them any feeling. Instead, say yes when you see something you love. The law of attraction is responding to your feelings. It's only what you give that counts. The law of attraction is the law of you. Give judgment and criticism, and you give it to yourself. Give love and appreciation to another person or anything, and you give it to yourself. And when people see a lack of anything, it's simply a lack of love. You tire good enough now. If you have done something that wasn't right, your realization and acceptance of it is absolution for the law of attraction. It's your beliefs, true or untrue, that form your world. Your imagination is more real than the world you see, because the world you see comes from what you imagine and believe. What you believe and feel to be true is what will be your life. Whatever story you tell, whether good or bad, will be the story of your life. So start telling the story of your amazing life. And the law of attraction must make sure you receive it.